The story begins when a guy opens the door, and after looking at the bright sky, he says, "Oh my eyes." After that, the person who he assassinated asks him, "Who sent you? Do you think things will simply end like this?" And tells him that sooner or later, another branch will come and find you. There is nothing you alone can do against them. While he was saying all that, Kim was busy loading his gun. After that, he tells Kim that get on your knees now and beg for forgiveness, then don't. After listening to all that, Kim suddenly shoots him and tells him to shut his mouth. Then he turns around and sees his dog. After seeing his dog, he suddenly changes his expressions and asks the dog, "Oh, my cutie pie, Mongu, did I make you wait long? Are you hungry? Let's go home and get you something to eat." After that, they both get out of that room. Then, while going to their home, Kim sees a kid asking his mom that, "Mom, can I stay at home tonight and not go to school?" Then his mom replies, "No, you can't. But if you work hard at school today, I will get you something delicious later." After listening to them, Kim thinks something delicious. Is there any leftovers from Mongu snacks at home? While he is thinking all that, suddenly his phone rings and a message comes in his phone in which it's written that, "Sent through the web. Hey, this is manager Kim Mayung. We're giving you a chance to take over the Murim in a short period using some special features." After reading this, he thinks, is this a new mission? No, damn it, it's a spam mail. Later at the food shop, while looking at the can of pet food, he thinks, what does Mongu prefer? I don't know, I will buy everything for now. While he is busy finding the best food for Mongo, suddenly someone says from behind, "It's been a long time, did you miss me?" After listening to him, Kim asks him, "You are annoying. What did you say? Are you talking to me?" Then the guy behind, "Yes, I'm talking to you," and puts his gun on Kim's head and asks him, "It's a great day to die, isn't it? Goodbye, No.1 Assassin." After listening to him, Kim thinks, another son of B comes to me. Who said that the dream world was this cruel? Am I going to die like this? No. Do the assassins even die like this? I will definitely get my revenge, even in hell. But what about the poor Mongo that became alone? After that, he opens his eyes and sees Mongo, then suddenly he sees a bald man who is looking at him. After which Kim suddenly hits his head on his mouth. Then after coming back to his senses, Kim thinks, what? Am I not supposed to be dead? I'm sure that he shot me in the head. Wait, what about Mongo? After that, he sees Mongo and says, "Mongo, what a relief, you're okay." Then the bald man says he finally came. The Savior has answered our call. Our Savior is here. After listening to him, Kim thinks, what's going on? Who is that idiot? Then he looks around and sees many people standing around him. After that, another bald man comes in front of him and says, "Nice to meet you, Savior. I'm the Great Elder of the Holy Blood sect, and my name is the Great Poison Demon." After listening to him, Kim thinks, Great Poison Demon? This bald guy? Savior, what does that mean? What is going on, and where am I? Then the Great Elder tells him that we have only one request. And it's simple, extermination of the Murim. After listening to him, Kim gets confused and thinks, this place, where the hell am I? Shortly, this place is not the world I know. It's the Murim in another dimension. And I was summoned to take over this world. What does that mean? After thinking all that, he asks the people standing there, who are you, bastards? Then suddenly he sees his phone and thinks, what the hell is this situation? Why doesn't this phone work? After that, he tells them that you bastards, take me back to where I was before I start swearing. You did that already. I have to kill the bastard who shot me, take me back. After listening to him, the Great Elder asks him, but aren't you our Savior? Then he replies, no. Have you lost your damn mind, bald bastard? Cut this Savior shit and take us back as soon as possible. After that, suddenly someone says from behind, honestly, he must have this much enthusiasm to be called the Savior, and the Great Elder is not bald. Then after listening to him, everyone starts talking with each other. He is not bald. His hair is not growing. That's disgusting. Is this the punishment of God? Then, listening to the people talking bad about him, the great elder thinks angrily, this old man, what is he doing here? After that, Sahyak Yong, the Holy Blood sect leader, says, but listen, even if you're not the savior, you might put your life in danger if you don't keep your mouth shut. Then Kim replies, you're wrong, old man. Choose your words. You're the one who summoned me with no reason. After that, he moves towards him and asks him, what do you want from me? Answer wisely. And tells him that if you say one more wrong word, you will end up dead here. Then the great elder comes there and tells Kim, that savior, how dare you talk to our leader like that? After that, Sahyak Yang stops the great elder and tells him that all right, I'll talk. Then he tells Kim that fine, savior, what about this if you beat me? I will hand you the sect leader position. After that, you can do whatever you want. Then, listening to him, the great elder tells him that no, sect leader, whatever you say, you can't put your position. But he ignores him and tells Kim that if you can't beat me. While he is saying something, Kim stops him and tells him that no need for all of that, just send me back to my world. Then Sahyak Yang replies, I'll send you to hell. While looking at him, Kim thinks, what is this feeling that overwhelms me? Even in my darkest days as an assassin, I never felt like that. No need to worry, my opponent is just an old man. The world's best assassin in history, fighting devil, which is me, can't be defeated. After that, Sahyak Yang asks him, are you ready? Then Kim asks him, ready? Do you think that I need to be ready to defeat an old man like you? After that, Sahyak Yang replies, let's see for how long you can stick to this ego. Then Kim asks him, do you want to fight? And tells him that I will let you go first. Then he replies, all right, I will go first. After that, Kim sees that the old man suddenly disappeared. This thing shocks him because he was just standing in front of him while they were talking with each other. Then suddenly the old man comes in front of him and starts punching him. Kim dodged his first punch but wasn't able to dodge the second one. The punch hits him so hard on his stomach that he falls 5 meters away from the old man. Then, looking at Kim sitting down on his knees, Sahyak Yang tells him that even with just some basic attack, you can't dodge it, and asks him, are you really our savior? That's disappointing. You're not even worthy. While he is saying all that, suddenly Mongu bites him on his leg. While looking at this, Kim says, run, Mongu, don't touch him. If you touch him, he will kill. After saying that, he notices that the old man kicked Mongu so hard that he falls back towards the wall. Then the old man tells the great elder that put this guy in the lower prison and throw the monster for wolves. After listening to him, Kim gets angry and shouts at him that he's not a monster. He's my family. I warned you, man. I told you that I will kill you if you touch Mongu. I think that you think you're strong now? Am I right, you old bastard? Don't make me laugh, you're not strong. Do you want to know who is the strongest in the world? While listening to him, the great elder says, what's wrong with him? Did he lose his mind after getting hit by the leader? After that, Kim asks Sahyak Yang that, do you think the strongest in the world are the men with swords? Then, while looking at something in Kim's hand, the great elder asks Sahyak Yang, what is that? He replies, it's a weird-shaped object. After that, Kim tells him that, listen carefully, the strongest man in the world is a man with a gun. Then, after saying that, he suddenly shots the gun on the old man's head. While the bullet is coming towards him, he asks Kim, what is this toy? After that, the bullet hits his head, and while the great elder was talking to him, he suddenly falls down dead. This shocks the great elder. Then, after noticing that the leader is dead, he orders the sect members to attack Kim, and also tells them that don't let this bastard who killed the sect leader get away. After looking at everyone running towards him to kill him, Kim says, fine, I lost, but I still have one more gun. Yes, that's it. All of you, come at me. Another gun waiting for you. After that, he starts shooting everyone with both guns continuously, and while shooting them, he says you chose the wrong opponent. After that, one by one, he kills the sect members who are coming towards him to attack him. Then the great elder sees that everyone starts shouting that someone stop him. Save me. It hurts. Please stop. After that, Kim gets the flashback of his past life when he was 18 years old. A man shouts and says it's our loss. I'll apologize for everything. After that, Kim asks him, do you know what moral I live by? Benignity and moderation. Then after saying that, he punches him on his face and grabs his hair to pull him back. After that, Kim says vengeance in full. Then looks at him and thinks he passed out already. That was fast. After that, suddenly someone says from behind, hey, kid, you think you're the strongest here now, right? There is no one around who can win against you after all. However, do you know who the strongest person that you can never win against is? After listening to him, Kim replies, bullshit. Tell me, who's that strong person supposed to be? Bring him to me. Then the guy takes out his gun and tells him that no matter how strong your punch is or how fast you are, you can never win against a gun. After that, Kim notices that he has shooted him on his leg. While looking at his wound, Kim asks him, why are you doing this to me? Then that guy replies, the reason I approached you was to make you an offer. After listening to him, Kim angrily asks him, then you could have just told me. Why'd you shoot me, you idiot? Then the guy replies, you're overreacting. I shot you rather gently. After listening to him, Kim tells him that you've really lost your mind. After that, he points his gun on Kim's head and says, but isn't it fascinating? Life or death will be decided by a single finger. After listening to him, Kim asks him, what do you want? Then he replies, you work for me. I'll make you the strongest person. After that, pointing his gun at Great Elder, Kim asks him, do you get it now? Who the strongest person here is? After that, the Great Elder replies, yes, sir, of course. I'll give you whatever you want. So please spare my life. Meanwhile, later, while seeing Kim sitting on the leader's throne, the Great Elder asks him, how is it? Is that seat comfortable? While looking at Mongu, he suddenly notices that something has gone near his ear. After that, Kim angrily asks him, are your ears clogged or what? When did I tell you to put me in this position? And tells him that all I want is to return to my world. I have to kill the guy who put a hole in my head. It's not a difficult request. Then the Great Elder replies, sir, the truth is we don't know how to send you back. After that, Kim stands up from the throne and says, you don't, I see you should have told me so earlier. After saying that, he puts his gun on the Great Elder's head and tells him that then I would have helped you reunite with the former cult leader. Then, with full of fear, the Great Elder says, wait, sir. Please give me a few days. I'll look for a way to send you back. After that, Kim replies, all right, I get it. Then, while looking at the Great Elder running away from him, Kim thinks, should I just kill him? What a messed up situation. What the hell is this? My phone's dead and I feel like I might go insane any second. After that, suddenly the phone rings, and while looking at his phone, he thinks, what the hell? It was definitely dead a minute ago. Then, after reading the message, he thinks it's the same spam message that I received just before my death. Now that take a closer look. What nonsense is this? Why can't I send a message? What the hell? While reading the message, he was getting crazy because in the message, it's written that you have to complete a mission to return back to Earth. You might have already expected it, but the mission is drumrolls. Conquer Murim. There will be a penalty if you do not complete this mission within 1 year, and the penalty is the death of the adorable Mongu. Oh no, we can't let this cutie die, can we? Then, I wish you good luck. After reading the whole message, he shouts the name of the sender very loudly. Meanwhile, later, while finding the Great Elder, Kim says, Baldy, where are you? After listening to him, the Great Elder thinks that bastard. He doesn't even respect his elders. A way to return back to his world. If I knew of such way, I would have sent him back already. That damned bastard. Anyway, let's get out of here before that crazy guy needs me. Then suddenly Kim says from behind, you going on a trip somewhere. After listening to him, he gets so scared that he starts crying, and while crying he tells Kim, that cult leader, I was talking about my dear son. and this bag here. I was about to set off to search for a way to send you back. So, cult leader, please spare me. Please spare my life. There is nothing to gain from killing an old man. You may be a bloodthirsty demon, but if you kill any more than this, you'll get punished and die an extremely painful death. After listening to him, Kim gets angry and tells him that shut up you idiot and listen to me, you bald grandpa. Then the great elder replies, I'm sorry, I was so flustered. After that, Kim cleans his throat and says, let's do it, the thing you mentioned. Then the great elder asks him, what thing, sir? Then Kim replies, you know that thing. Let's do it. Let's conquer Murim. After listening to this, the great elder gets happy and says, indeed, you are our savior. I never doubted you for a second. Cult leader. Then I will go and prepare. After that, Kim tells him that, however, I have one condition. Then asks him, yes, what is that condition, tell me, sir? Meanwhile, later in the assembly area, the great elder tells everyone that I'll convey the order on behalf of the cult leader. From now on, we will abandon the name of the Blood Death Cult and become the Mongu cult. After that, everyone starts hailing the Mongu cult name. And while hailing the name of the cult, one of the members thinks, what the hell? How can a Murim faction be named Mongu? I want to run away. Why did he have to name the cult after that beast? Well, it might not be that bad. I offer myself to you, Kim Mongu. Meanwhile, in another cult, the disciple tells his cult leader that the leader of the demonic cult changed, and they also changed their cult name from Blood Death to Mongu Cult. After listening to him, Gu Jaiguang, the Kunlun sect's leader, says seems like a new wind is blowing in that failing cult. Then he asks his disciple that do you have any information on the new cult leader? After listening to him, he replies the thing is I heard that he uses a strange demonic art. Then Gu Jaiguang asks him a strange demonic art. He replies yes, that's right, and tells him that it's said that for each of his movements, one person dies a finger flick. Apparently, he moved a single finger. After looking at him, the leader asks him, are you sure it's that exact finger? Then he replies, no, but I figured that it has to be this finger. Meanwhile, in the Mongu cult, Dongguang, the former Blood Death cult 5th elder, says it's going to get bloody soon. No. Does that make sense to you? He was declared the new cult leader just because he won against the former one, without our approval. Then Du Chioho, the former Blood Death cult 2nd elder, replies, our doctrine is that the strongest person gets the cult leader's position. After listening to him, Dongguang says, I can't accept this. I've been against the idea of summoning some savior bastard from the beginning. Then Du Chioho tells him that, hey, watch your words, whether you like it or not. He's our current cult leader. After that, suddenly someone says from behind, I'm disappointed too. Then, after listening to it, Dongguang says, gosh, that surprised me. After that, Yukpi, the former Blood Death cult 4th elder, asks Du Chiolho that you know it, don't you? Then, after listening to him, Du Chiolho asks him, know what? After which he replies, how many sacrifices I made for the Blood Death cult. Sleep. Food. Fun. I gave up everything. So how could such an important matter be decided without me? Why do I feel like you just lived however you wanted? After listening to him, Du Chiolho says anyway, if you have complaints, then prove that you have the right to make such claims by demonstrating your strength. However, keep in mind that he has defeated the previous cult leader. If you challenge him because you are swept away by emotions, you will be the ones to die. After that, the great elder comes there and tells them that now, greet him, everyone. This is cult leader Kim Jin. Then everyone greets him by saying a pleasure to meet you, cult leader. After that, Yukpi looks at Mongu and says, oh my, how can you be so small and adorable? Where did you find such a cute beast? How did you come here, buddy? Then after listening to him, Kim says, hey, you idiot. Do you think he came by car or what? After saying that, he punches him on his face and tells him that you called me here, and all you do is make fun of me. Don't you dare open that mouth of yours in my presence. Got it. Why are you not answering? You being defiant right now? Then Yukpi replies, no, I'm sorry. After that he tells him that I told you to keep that mouth shut. Then Yukpi thinks, what do you want me to do then? After that the great elder tells everyone that we will now commence the meeting with the Council of Elders. Cult leader, you may begin. After that Kim says, listen up. We will be starting our conquest of Murim. Then after listening to him, Dongguang thinks we'll finally be able to restore our old reputation. After that Kim tells them that if we do not succeed in conquering Murim within 1 year, everyone shall commit suicide. Then after listening to him, Dongguang gets shocked and thinks what nonsense. After that Kim tells them now nobody wants to die, right? Then start spitting out ways to conquer Murim in 1 year. Then Du Chiolho raises his hand, and before saying something he thinks I should step forward and tell him. It's impossible to conquer Murim within 1 year. After thinking that he asks Kim, that cult leader, may I speak my honest thoughts? Then Kim replies, no, I have the feeling that you're real idiot. You were about to say that it's impossible, right? After listening to him, Du Chiolho replies, yes, that's correct. Then Kim says, see? You freaking tea bastard. After listening to him, Du Chiolho thinks so, what the hell is this tea? Then suddenly Dongguang hits the table with his hand in anger and says, I've had enough. The more I listen, the more this sounds like mad bullshit. After listening to him, the great elder asks him, what are you doing, Dongguang? Then Dongguang says honestly, you're not one to talk. You just made him the cult leader without our consent. After listening to him, the great elder replies, I didn't have a say in the cult leader's plan. Then Dongguang looks at Kim and says, you might have won against the previous cult leader, but I can't accept this. If you want us to acknowledge you, have a fight with me for the position as cult leader. After listening to him, Kim replies, this is ridiculous. You were the ones who summoned me to help you conquer Murim. All right, but are you sure you can live with the consequences? Then, while looking at Dongguang, Kim thinks is what I said, but I'm sure that this guy also has a weird ability like that old cult leader. I don't have a lot of bullets, so I wanted to use them sparingly. After that, Dongguang looks at Kim and thinks, why is he suddenly lowering his head? Don't tell me, is he scared right now? Quantum scans. I knew it. He must have used some trick to defeat the previous cult leader, but he's helpless against me. After that, Dongguang moves towards Kim, and while looking at him, the great elder tells him that Dongguang, I don't know what you plan to do, but don't do it. Then Dongguang looks at Kim and asks him, are you scared? After that, he again asks Kim, hey, why are you ignoring me? You scared? Chicken cult leader. Are you nervous now that you actually have to fight me? Coward? You pissing your pants now? After listening to him, Kim points his gun on Dongguang and says, that's it now, you die. While he is going to shoot him, suddenly his phone rings, and he finds out that there is a new message for him. And while looking at Kim not attacking him, Dongguang says, why aren't you attacking me, you wimp? People might think I'm the bad guy here. After that, Kim asks him, you said you wanted to fight against me, didn't you? Then he goes towards him, and while standing in front of him, Kim says, all right, let's do it. However, under one condition. The position of the cult leader is at stake. So it wouldn't be fun if this were a normal duel, right? Why aren't you answering? After listening to him, Dongguang thinks, what is this intense killing intent? Then Kim asks him, so now are you scared? Meanwhile, in the fighting arena, while watching them talks with each other, that after defeating the former sect leader, he's now facing the fifth elder in a duel. The current sect leader is too reckless, isn't he? No, it's not that. The reckless one is the first elder. After that, one of the guys standing there says everyone thinks that Dongguang became Grandmaster just because he's strong. The most terrifying thing about Dongguang is that he's not even fazed by getting hit. On the contrary, he makes the person who hit him collapse from exhaustion, impenetrable defense. He is said to be so tough that he can even withstand a tiger's attack. That's why Dongguang earned that nickname, Tiger Vanquisher. You guys really don't know anything. After that, another guy standing in the crowd says the true terror of the leader. I was there at the scene back, then it was a quiet day without a cloud in the sky, but then, suddenly, thunder rumbled the previous leader was dead. And the real fight began. When the current leader moved, people started falling one by one like they were struck by thunder and lightning. The sight of them filled me with such horror. And even if the opponents were weak, there were no exceptions. Even the crow shut its beak in the face of such shock. And at that moment, the nickname that goes along with the sect leader came to mind: Najia Ma, Scum Silencing Demon. After listening to him, one of the guys says, Najia Ma, that's quite an intimidating nickname. Then other one replies, no, please be careful with the pronunciation. It's no Jia Ma. After that, suddenly announcements happen, and the announcer says, everyone, be quiet. The sect leader and the fifth elder are entering. The battle of the century is about to begin. After that, while looking at Kim, Dungguang asks him, are you ready? Are you ready to be beaten up? Then Kim replies, yes, everyone talks big like you at first. Until they get shot. After that, the referee says, now, let's begin the battle between the sect leader and the fifth elder. The format of the battle is as requested by the sect leader. The rules are simple. Each person attacks the other once. The last one standing wins. However, the winner of this battle can decide the life or death of the lodger. Now, let's decide who will attack first. Sect leader, please tell is the direction. After listening to him, Dungguang says, no, have you forgotten my nickname? It's the tiger vanquisher who can withstand even a tiger's attack. I will personally yield the first attack. After listening to him, Kim thinks, what's wrong with this crazy guy? And tells him that since you're giving me the first attack, I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to attack your chest. Then Dungguang says, shaking hands, you'll regret this. After that, he tightens up his body and tells Kim that come at me with all you've got. Then Kim suddenly shoots him on his thighs. And while looking at this, the guy standing near the ring says that was all you got. Just a lot of noise and no power. You think you can defeat Dungguang with that? After getting shot by Kim on his thighs, he falls down and screams with pain and says, you son of a... that really hurts. Oh, no, damn it, my chest. Then he asks Kim that didn't you say you're attacking my chest? After listening to him, Kim asks him what's the matter. Then he thinks, damn it, to show such a shameful sight in front of my subordinates. I need to get up quickly, but my legs are too weak. That's right, the more desperate I get, the calmer I need to be. Now it's my turn. And I still have one leg left. After that, he gets up and tells Kim that now it's my turn. You should be nervous, my punches are very painful. After telling Kim, he goes to punch him with his full power. But suddenly Kim shoots him again on his other leg. After looking at this, the referee tells Kim that in a one-on-one duel, the two contestants take turns attacking each. Then Kim asks him, damn it, where is that written? In the Constitution of Korea? After that, the referee replies, that's not what I meant. And while looking at this from behind, the great elder thinks the devil himself would be surprised. After that, Dungguang thinks, damn it, I need to move quickly, but my legs are too weak. Then suddenly Kim tells him that in the world I came from, there is an old saying. If you enter a tiger's den, you will live if you keep your wits about you. But that's actually not true. All I need is a gun. After telling him that, he points his gun on Dungguang's head. Then, while looking at Kim, Dungguang thinks, no, I'm going to die like this. After that, he says, leader, I think I was wrong. I'll do better from now on, so please reconsider. After that, Kim says, bang, the kid is scared. Then Dungguang opens his eyes and sees that Kim is leaving. And while leaving, Kim tells him that you owe me your life, so don't get on my nerves from now on. After listening to him, Dungguang thinks, what is this? I feel so wronged, but at the same time, I don't. Is this men's friendship? Then, while leaving the arena, Kim thinks, oh, damn, I almost got screwed because I didn't have any bullets. After that, suddenly the message comes in his phone in which it's written that mission update. Achieve victory against 5th Elder in the duel if victory is achieved without killing. Additional rewards will be given mission complete. Reward details. Basic reward: 2 magazines provided. 30 rounds. Additional reward: random. Payment details. Basic reward given. Additional reward given. Then, after reading the whole message, he feels good. After that, he asks the Great Elder that, "Hey, Elder, there are only 4 of you, right?" Then he replies, "No, we have a total of 5 elders, and the 3rd elder who is currently absent." After that, we see the 3rd elder practicing with her sword. Then, after finishing the practice, she asks her servant, "You're saying that such things happened while I was away?" Then the servant replies, "Yes, that's right, 3rd elder." After that, while cleaning his face with towel, she says some are trying to revive the sect and are working hard to die. But still, he defeated both the leader and the 5th elder. I'm looking forward to seeing who he is. After saying that, she tells everyone that, "Let's finish up and get ready. Let's go see the new leader." Later next day, while listening to Mongu growling, Kim asks him, "Mongu, why are you like this since the morning? Mongu, are you hungry? Want some food?" After that, suddenly Doon Guang comes in front of him and greets him by saying, "Good morning, master." Then Kim punches him on his face and tells him, "Oh, geez, you scared me. I almost punched you. What's going on since the morning?" After listening to him, Doon Guang replies, "While master was sleeping, I was practicing my martial arts, in case someone threatens the safety of the sect leader." After listening to Doon Guang, Kim tells him that, "You're the most threatening one, get out, you idiot." Then, accepting Kim's order, Doon Guang leaves. After that, Kim asks the Great Elder, "What's going on with you since morning?" Then the Great Elder replies, "Oh, the sect leader told me to come in the morning." After that, Kim tells him that, "Call the elders, I need to ask them something." Meanwhile, later in the meeting area, Kim tells the elders that, "Now that everyone's here, let me explain once. Why am I the chosen one? Why do you all have to follow the martial arts code?" After listening to him, Du Chialho says, "Leader, allow me to explain that." After saying that, he starts explaining and says, "Looked at the Holy Blood sect as a thorn in their side. The reason being that, despite being no different from themselves, it seemed odd. The Holy Blood sect's prosperous appearance seemed irritatingly conspicuous. Such times and jealousy soon turned into arrows of temptation aimed at us. Due to several inferiority, we were eventually defeated. Now that we have fallen to such a state, we are not only prey for the righteous faction, but also for the unorthodox factions." After listening to him, Kim asks him, "So you are neither righteous nor unorthodox?" Then Du Chialho replies, "That's correct. While we simply followed our own principles and lived peacefully, if this is the result, with you, our savior, as the sect leader, we want to unify this chaotic Murim world and achieve peace." But as the sect leader mentioned, conquering the Murim world within a year is practically impossible. After that, Kim interrupts him and asks him, "Hey, why should I protect your peace? Am I some kind of Power Ranger? What kind of peace unification? We can't even do that in our own country. And why on earth am I your savior?" After listening to him, the Great Elder says, "The truth is, we don't know why the sect leader became the chosen one. The day we were attacked by the Woolen Alliance." After saying that, he tells the past story. While seeing the enemy with sword standing in front of him, the Great Elder tells the enemy that, "I'm just a common laborer here." Then the guy standing in front of him replies, "It's not even funny to hear those words from someone dressed like that. Just looking at that damned head makes it obvious who it is." After that, suddenly a guy wearing a black hooded cape comes there. And after noticing him, that guy asks him, "Where did you come from?" Then, while he is going to say something else, suddenly the black cape guy punches him on his face and knocks him down. After looking at this, the Great Elder gets shocked, and with full of fear, he tells the guy that, "I'm old now. I won't live much longer. please, just spare my life." Then the strange guy tells him that on the date and location written there, the Savior who will unify the Murim world will come. Prepare well and welcome him. After listening to him, the great elder asks him what? Wait a minute, what does that mean? The Savior? Then, while leaving, the strange guy tells him that you will understand what that letter means when you read it. After listening to him, the great elder gets confused and asks him, "Wait, who are you over there? Hold on a moment." Then, after listening to the whole story, Kim asks the great elder that so, you don't know who that mysterious man is? Then he replies, "No, I don't," and tells him that, however, I noticed one characteristic. After listening to him, he asks him characteristic. What is it? Then he replies the fact that he doesn't have any hair, like me. After listening to him, Kim thinks bald to bald. It seems like that mysterious man was sent here. Why was he sent here? What's the purpose? After that, suddenly a servant comes there and says, "Sect leader and elders, I apologize for the abrupt entrance. However, it seems like you need to go outside right now." After going outside, Kim sees his guards are killed by someone. Then the guy who killed them asks him, "Are you a new sect member or the leader of the Mongo sect?" And tells him that, "Oh, I feel sorry for those guard over there, but they kept blocking me from entering." So the guy who killed their guards is Mongu, who is Ghost Sword Gate's master. After listening to him, Kim asks him, "All right, let's hear your reason then. What's the reason for this sudden morning breeze? Why did you come rushing like this?" Then Mongu replies, "We were eyeing the declining Holy Blood sect being targeted by the Woolen Alliance. And just then, we heard the news that the Holy Blood cult leader No, the now former leader, Sahyok-yang, died at the hands of a nameless outsider. With such a delicious prey at hand, how can I just sit still?" After listening to him, Kim asks him, "Are you a snake or something? Why is your tongue so long? Are you just here to loot an empty house?" Then Mongu laughs and replies, "You're smarter than I thought." Well then, now that you know the purpose, what are you going to do? You don't need to cut yourself just because you've found the main point. Isn't the answer already decided? You thought you were clever, but you're just a fool. After that, Monju's servant Jium Jinpeng asks him, "Is it necessary for you, Mongu, to step forward?" and tells him that now that Sahyok-yang is no longer here, I can handle it well enough on my own. After looking at him, Kim thinks, what's wrong with this body? What's with that ignorant axe? And asks him, "Are you trying to chop off my head with that axe?" After that, while coming to attack Kim, Jium Jinpeng says, "You're just babbling common sense. Don't worry, it'll be over soon." Meanwhile, looking at him come towards him, Kim thinks, "Damn, where is my gun?" After that, suddenly Yukpi comes in front of Kim to protect him from Jium Jinpeng's attack. And while stopping him, he tells him that with such a feeble attack, you won't even be able to scratch us. After that, Dun Guang says, "Brother, you're speaking the truth for the first time in a long while. Not content with just invading the Mongo sect, you even dare to harm the sect leader. This is a grave sin that must be punished." After saying that, he goes to attack Hema and punch him with his full power on his face. Then after punching him, he says, "You will have to repay with your lives." After looking at this, Kim thinks, I thought his backbone would be strong, but it's beyond my expectations. And even that flesh bag is quite useful too. If I use them well, couldn't I dominate the Murim world? After that, Monju tells him that in the end, you're making foolish choices. Watch carefully what results your choice will bring. After listening to him, Kim asks him, "Hey, why is your tongue so long?" and tells him that I'll say it once, so listen well. I don't avoid opponents who come looking for a fight, but I don't spare their lives either. After that, both of them looked into each other's eyes. Then Kim tells his elders to kill them. After listening to him, Dun Guang says, "I've been waiting for you to say that." And then he goes to attack the enemies with full of energy. While looking at his energy and enthusiasm, Kim thinks indeed he seems useful. After that, while seeing Yukpi falling through the stairs, Kim thinks, not sure about that one though. Meanwhile, looking at his enemies, Dung Guang says, I've been pent up for a while now, so come at me. After that, the enemies attack him with their weapons, and he dodges everyone's attacks. Then suddenly one of the enemies tries to attack him with his sword, but he stops him by grabbing his sword with his hand. And while looking at this, he says, this sword was given to me by my father as an heirloom. After listening to him, Dong Guang smiles and breaks his sword with his bare hands. Then he grabs him by the throat and throws him to the ground. After smashing him on ground, Dong Guang says, such laughable skills. Then, while he is going to attack other enemies, suddenly Yukpi comes there and says, don't worry, brother, I've got your back. After that, while looking at his arms, Dong Guang tells him that, wait, you're still bleeding. After that, one of the Mongu's soldier comes forward to attack them with his sword, and while attacking them, he says, let's see if you can take this as well then. Then he stops and sees that Yukpi is blocking his sword with his bare hands. After that, while blocking his attacking by his bare hands, Yukpi says, didn't I tell you already? You cannot leave a single scratch on my body with these weak attacks. After listening to him, the soldier tells him that, hey, your arms are bleeding. Then suddenly Yukpi punches him on his face, and while punching him, he tells him that shut up. You can regret your foolish actions in hell. After getting hit by his punch, the soldier thinks it feels good. Then while looking at him, he asks him, what are you looking at? So the reason why he is feeling good after taking the punch of Yukpi on his face is because the trait of Yukpi is the massage hands. After that, Kim moves back, and while looking at him leaving Mongu's soldiers, says, I can't believe a man calling himself the cult leader showed us his back so easily. He must have used some tricks to win against the former cult leader. We'll gladly kill you here. After that, they runs towards Kim to attack him, but suddenly they stops and Kim tells them, you're looking in the wrong direction. Then one of the soldiers who going to attack Kim sees that Kim killed all the soldiers who were with him. After that, he goes to attack Kim alone, but Kim cuts his throat with his dagger. Then, while looking at Mongu's soldiers, Kim says seriously, these idiots, do I look like an easy opponent? After saying that, goes towards them to attack them and kills everyone with his dagger. Then, after killing his soldiers, Kim tells Mongu Th, let me give you a piece of advice for the next time you're attacking someone. Know your opponent. After looking at this, Dong Guang seems like things are slowly coming to an end. Suddenly Mongu attacks him with his sword, but he dodges his attack. After that, Dong Guang says for the leader of a sect to resort to petty surprise attacks. You're embarrassing yourself. After that, he looks above and sees bluish light. Then Mongu tells him that to think the poison developed for the assassination of Sa Hyokyeong would come handy like this. I'll send you to the side of your former cult leader. After that, both of them goes to attack each other. Mongu attacks him with his sword, and he attacks him with his bare hands. Both of them clashes with each other, and from the blast, Dong Guang jumps back. After looking at this, Dong Guang thinks the poison is stopping my inner arts from reaching my fists. Then, while looking at this, Kim gets angry and thinks I don't have a good feeling about this. Where is my gun at such a critical time? After which he sees Mongu taking his gun by holding in high mouth to give it to him. Then, after looking at this, he says, oh my, our Mongu, did you find your dad's gun? Look how smart you are. After that, he thinks it's difficult to win against them without a gun. But the number of bullets I have is limited. I can't use them carelessly, however, I can't let such a threat live. Then, while looking at Dong Guang sitting on his knees, Mongu laughs and asks him where has the prestige of the Blood Death cult gone, and tells him now the Blood Death cult, the Mongu cult, will belong to me. After that, suddenly someone comes there and tie him in shackles. Then suddenly the third elder Jin comes there and kills him with his sword. After that, she tells Kim that I wanted to pay my respects to you properly, but the situation was unfavorable. This is our first time meeting. I greet you. I'm the captain of the Iron Blood Squad and the third elder, Jin H. Warren. After listening to her, Kim thinks so that woman is the third elder. She seems much more useful than all the other elders. Then she takes out her sword and tells him that, but I'm curious about the level of your skills. And after saying that she goes to attack Kim, that managed to win against the former cult leader and Doon Guang. After that, while looking at Kim's expression, she thinks I was just planning to scare him a bit. It seems like he didn't win through luck. Then, shall we test whether he can stop this attack too? After looking at her that she is coming to attack him, Kim tells her that I wouldn't do it if I were you. I'm not that generous to let 2 attacks of yours go. Then, while looking at his gun, Jin thinks that must be that infamous weapon I heard about. It doesn't seem good enough to defeat the former cult leader and Doon Guang though. I shall check if it's all show and no go. After that, while going to attack him, she suddenly stops and thinks, but what's this feeling? I feel like if I take another step forward, that'll be the end of me. And while looking at this, the great elder thinks, what the hell, what are they doing all of the sudden? I'm scared. After that, she tells Kim that I understand it now. The reason you managed to defeat the former cult leader. Only the strongest of all can become the leader of the Blood Death cult. So it was necessary for me to check whether you qualify for the position or not. After listening to her, Kim thinks, what the hell? Is she some crazy bitch? Then suddenly Mongu's one of the soldiers who was knocked down by Doon Guang wakes up and thinks, did I just pass out for a second? What incredible strength. However, I will not give up like this. After that he says, you bastards, come at me again. Our sect leader's nickname is the Cruel Sword. He'll slaughter, torture, and violate all of you. And with your supplies, we'll hold a festival. After saying all that, he suddenly stops and sees his leaders dead. Then he quietly leaves and tells Mongu's ghost that, see, I told you that it was a bad idea from the beginning. Later at night, while lying down on the bed with Mongu, Kim thinks, we somehow managed to resolve the situation this time. But the coming year will be full of such incidents as we set off to conquer Murim. Guys that can send people flying with a single punch. Guys that can split the earth with their sword. If they're only the start and we have to face stronger people, the person to die next will be... After that, he goes to the great elder's room and asks him, yo, Baldy, you there? What brings you to such a squalid place, cult leader? After listening to him, he thinks, oh no, why did he come here? It's making me freaking anxious. Then Kim asks him, where can I find information on possible enemies we have to fight against? And potential partners we can rely on for the future. After listening to his question, the great elder thinks he's asking a normal question for once. Then he tells Kim that if it's that, how about you visit the Hao clan? After listening to him, Kim asks him what Hao clan is. Then he replies it's a clan consisting of low-class people such as porters, courtesans, and restaurant managers, who collect information from here and there and sell it to a third party, a kind of information brokers, you could say. After that, Kim asks him, I see. Where should I go to meet them? Then the great elder asks him, you want to go there yourself, cult leader? After that, Kim replies, yeah, I want to hear the information firsthand and make my own judgment. Then he says, okay, I'll look for some people to escort you. After that, Kim tells him that all right, however, don't include that crazy third elder. Then after listening to him, he replies, what? But the third elder knows her way around the best. Then Kim tells him still no. From what I've seen, that woman has completely lost her. After listening to them, Doon Guang says then, I'll guide you to the Hao clan. While he is saying all that, suddenly Kim punches him so hard that he passes out and falls on the ground. After that, Kim tells the great elder that don't include him either. Then he replies, yes, sir. After that, later, while going towards the Hao clan, Kim looks at the elders and thinks I definitely told him not to include this guy. Nor her, and why is she dressed up like that? Does she think we're going out for a nice evening? After that, we see that what happened in the past, which made the 2 elders who Kim told not to send them with him, came with him. The great elder tells everyone that the cult leader needs an escort for his visit to the Hao clan. and asks everyone that is there anyone you can suggest for this task. After that, both Dun Guang and Jin raise their hand and tells him that we will go with the leader. Then, after listening to them, the great elder thinks, why does it have to be you two? After that, Jin tells him, as you know, my missions have always taken me outside the clan's grounds. So it's only natural for me to go since I know the most about the outside world. And thinks nice, it's been a while since I went out. I want to eat delicious food and buy new clothes. After that, Dong Guang says I disagree. How can I not follow the cult leader wherever he goes? The cult leader and I were one body and mind. Then she asks him, what nonsense are you spouting, Dong Guang? You have never been to the Hao clan before, have you? After that he says, how dare a woman like you talk back? Then she asks him, have you gone insane? What did you just say to me? How dare I talk back? I'm your senior sister. After that he tells her whatever. Leave it to me this time. I'll go. Then she tells him, you don't even know how to get there. I really want to kill you right now. After that he replies, I'll manage on my own, so mind your own business. Then we come back to the time where while looking at them Kim thinks, hell, I don't know anymore, I'll kill Baldy first thing when I get back. After that the carriage driver calls him and tells him that leader it's getting late. I think it's better to spend the night here today. After that he goes to one of the restaurants where the waiter welcomes them and asks them, how can I help you? Then Dun Guang tells him that please give us some rooms to spend the night in and some food and drinks. And Kim tells him to bring Sunday gukbap and soju for me. After listening to them, the waiter replies, sure, please take a seat. I'll bring out the food and drinks. At the same time, suddenly some people from Kunlun sect comes there, and one of the guys named Jiok Sangchen asks the waiter any drinks and empty rooms left here, and tells him that if you have any, they're ours. If not, make some. After that the waiter replies, I'm sorry, but these guests here just took the last rooms. Then, while looking at Kim, Jiok asks him, hey, my brothers, I've never seen you before, but you know me, don't you? I'll take the rooms, so go and find another inn to stay at. After that, looking at Jin, he says, what the hell, since when has there been such a beauty in this town? Then he asks her, where have you come from, miss? And tells her no, more importantly, let me introduce myself. I'm a first-generation disciple of the great Kunlun sect. Don't hang around with those low-class guys. Why don't you spend the evening with me? After listening to him, Dun Guang angrily thinks, shit, if that guy not been from the Kunlun sect, I would have killed him. Then he remembers that Du Chiolho told them that we cannot let the other sects hear about our movements. So avoid causing problems at all costs. After remembering all that, he tells Kim, that cult leader, I'll go and ask the other inns if they have rooms left. Then, while looking at Dun Guang reddish face, Jiok asks him, hold on, what's with that face of yours? Do you have any complaint? After that, suddenly Kim hits him on his stomach and he bends down on his knees. After that, with full of fear in his eyes, Jiok asks him, how dare you? And tells him, you won't get away with that. Then suddenly Kim kicks him on his face so hard that he falls back. And tells Jiok that all right then, call your guys. I'll be waiting here. Then he asks the waiter, hey, when's the food coming? After looking at this, Dun Guang gets scared and thinks we are ducked. After that he thinks I couldn't even stop the cult leader from causing this mess. Then suddenly Jok's guards comes forward to attack them, but Jin throws a knife on the second guard and stops them. After looking at this, the other guard asks her, hey, you have a knife stuck in your chest? And tells her that how cowardly of you to throw a knife on us. After that she kicks and punches both of them and knocks them out. Then her teen girls come there and ask her, you called us, Captain? After that she replies, it's time for you to get to work. I left these guys alive, so take them. Afterwards, feed them the wandering soul drug, so that they forget what happened here. Dump them in a bar with many girls. After that she tells Kim, that cult leader, we should have a talk. Then he replies, all right, and while looking at her, he thinks she won't attack me again out of nowhere, right? After that, they sit down on a chair, and she asks Kim, that cult leader, "Do you know who these guys were just now?" Then he asks her no. Who were they? After that, she tells him they're the disciples of the Kunlun sect, a sect that is part of the Murim alliance that brought us down in the past. If word gets out about what happened here today, our horrible past could repeat itself again. I can't lose the cult that is like a family to me a second time. After listening to her, he remembers his past days of orphanage and thinks about the importance of a family. Then she tells him that we have to avoid clashing with the Murim alliance at all costs. After listening to her carefully, he replies, "All right, I'll keep that in mind." Then, after listening to Kim agreeing with her, Dung Guang thinks it's unlike the cult leader to agree so easily. After that, Kim asks her then, is the Hao clan also related to the Murim alliance? Then she replies, no, the Hao clan does not belong to the Murim alliance. After that, she tells him that I know you're tired, but you should head to the Hao clan with Dongguang first for your own safety. After listening to her, Dongguang asks her then, what about you? Then she replies, I'll stay here and get rid of any evidence of the commotion tonight, just in case. After that, while leaving, she says, please excuse me, cult leader. I'll get back to work. I pray for your safe return. Later, the next morning, after reaching to the Hao clan, Dongguang tells him that cult leader, we have arrived. After that, they go inside a house and ask anybody here. Then suddenly an old man comes there and welcomes them and also asks them, how can I help you? After that, Kim replies, Gramps, I heard that you sell some special alcohol here. After that, they start following him and go into the underground basement. Then, after reaching the place, the old man tells them please head in there. After that, a guy greets them by saying welcome and tells them that I'm the manager of the Hao clan Qinghai province branch, Manga. After that, Mengi thinks the blood death cult, no. I mean the Mongo cult. I heard that all of their past prestige is gone now and that they're basically ruined. I don't know if it was the right decision for me to greet them. After thinking all that, he asks Kim, then what has brought you here? Then, while looking at him, Dongguang thinks his tone is bothering me. It feels as if he's looking down at us. After that, not getting a reply from Kim, Mengi thinks he ignored me. Are you saying you're still a cult leader, no matter how ruined your cult is? I'm an expert at dealing with people like you. After thinking all that, he tells Kim that I hope I haven't done anything to disrespect the leader of the great Mongo cult. A lowly person such as me cannot understand the larger meaning of things. So please, tell me if you're uncomfortable with anything. After that, while listening to him, Dongguang angrily thinks, look at this son of a bitch. Does he have a death wish or what? Then suddenly Kim starts laughing loudly. After, Mengi also starts laughing and says, it seems like you like my joke very much. Then he suddenly stops laughing and tells him that then, if that's all, I'll be leaving first. After that, Kim asks Dongguang that you said that the Hao clan is unrelated to the Murim alliance, right? Then he replies, yes, that's right, cult leader. After that, he tells Dongguang to get him. Then he replies, Roger that, and punches Mengi on his face. And the punch was so powerful that he fell 5 meters away from them. After that, Kim says, you must think of me as an idiot because I've laughed with you for a bit. But a cult leader has personally come to visit you, so he should be greeted by a person of high rank accordingly. And asks the old man, don't you think so, real branch manager? You seem to have some problems with your back, so why don't you sit down? Then, after listening to this, Dongguang thinks the hell, I thought he simply acted on emotions. But to think that Grandpa was the real branch manager. On the other side, after listening to Kim, old man gets scared and screams. Then Kim says, oh, he's not. Lol. Meanwhile, in the other hand, while standing on the terrace, a mysterious guy asks his soldier, then tell me where's the leader of the Blood Death? Mongo cult right now. Then his soldier replies, he's at the Hao clan Qinghai province, branch with the 5th elder. However, there has been an incident with the Kunlun sect's disciples on their journey to the Hao clan. After listening to him, the mysterious guy says the Kunlun sect, "You say we can't just let them go unpunished, can we?" Then he tells him that send a message to the Mongu cult. Tell them that we'll be paying them a visit soon, so they should prepare themselves to die. Meanwhile, in the Hao clan, after getting punched by Dun Guang, Mengi thinks those Mongo sect fools to use force against me, the branch head of Hao clan. Do you think I'll just let this slide? After that, Kim tells him, "Hey, that's enough. Sit down so we can talk." Then Mengi replies, "No, I possibly can't." After that, Kim asks him, "You want to sit, or you want to get hit?" Then replies, "I'll sit and talk." And asks Kim what brings our sect leader to such a humble place. Then Kim replies, "I want all the information on the clans associated with the Murim alliance." After listening to him, Mengi tells him that's our specialty, and asks him, "Do you need any other information, sect leader?" Then Kim replies, "Look for some strong people who can lend us a hand." After listening to him, Mengi thinks, "Are you planning to start a war or something?" Then he asks Kim why such people. After that, Kim looks in his eyes and asks him that do I have to explain everything to you now? Then Mengi tells him so. To summarize, this information is classified as high grade and is quite expensive. But considering that the sect leader himself has come, how about 30 silver pieces? After saying that he thinks it's a huge loss for us. But this should satisfy these crazy guys, right? Then Kim tells Dun Guang, "No matter how much money you have, it's useless if you die." After that, Dun Guang replies, "Is that so? Our sect leader is indeed wise." Then after listening to both of them, Mengi thinks, "What's this? Are these guys threatening me?" After thinking that, he asks Kim, sect leader, "How about 10 silver pieces?" Then Dun Guang asks him, "Well, no matter how much money you have, they'll become useless if your limbs get impaired, right?" After listening to him, Mengi stands up, and with frustration he says, "No, just a moment, sect leader. No matter what you say, I can't just give it to you for free." Then Kim replies, "Hey, who's asking for a freebie? I'll pay the price." After that, he says, "Right, it was just that sect leader." Then he asks him, "So what it'll be?" After that, Kim tells him that you look as excited as a child waiting for a Christmas present. Then, this Santa Claus will give you a gift. I'll spare your life. After listening to him, Mengi thinks, "Shit, who the hell is Santa Claus? What's Christmas?" Then, while looking at him crying, Kim tells him that if you'll cry, this Santa won't give you a present. All right, it seems like a fair trade has been made. And asks him, "Now, shall we get to the main point?" After that, he thinks he seems like a real devil to me. And replies, "Yes, first, I will get the information regarding the clans associated with the Murim alliance and then send it to you. However, it'll take some time to gather people who'll become a force for the Mongo sect." After that, Kim says, "So I'll need a little time," and asks him, "How long do you think it will take?" Then he replies, "I am not sure, but in about 30 days. After that, Kim tells him, 1 week, I'll give you exactly 7 days. Come back within that time. And another thing, tell me about the Kunlun sect disciples." After listening to him, Mengi tells him that the Kunlun sect is a Taoist sect located on a snowy mountain that touches the clouds. The location is notoriously difficult to access, and due to the sect's secretive nature, not much is known about them. However, one known fact is that they were able to join the 9 great schools because despite being few, each member possesses great strength. But for some reason, after the war with the Blood sect, they sent all their disciples down the mountain. After listening to him, Kim thinks, elite few, should I have just killed them back then? And asks him so. The Kunlun sect disciples are not being managed separately by those above. Then Mengi replies, "Yes, that's what I at least know for now." After listening to him, Kim says, "Is this a blessing in disguise?" And tells him that all right, I got it. Send the rest of the information to the Mongo sect. After that, he asks him, "And Mengi, what are we now?" Then he replies me, "A cooperative relationship?" After that, Kim says, "Don't be absurd. What are you talking about? In my world, there's a saying that once you fight, you become friends." Then he asks him, "So, what are we then?" After listening to him, he thinks it was just a one-sided beating. Then he replies, "We are friends." After that, while leaving, Kim tells him that's right. But Mengi, the kind of friend I need, is someone who would sacrifice even their life for me. I need a friend who sacrifices their life for me. After listening to him, Mengi thinks, what kind of nonsense is this? Then, while leaving, Kim tells him anyway, "I'm counting on you, my friend." Later, while going back to Mongo sect in their carriage, Kim asks Dong Guang, "So, is the third elder still there?" Then he replies, "Yes, it seems so, as there has been no other news." After that, suddenly their carriage stops and Yon Nan, the vice commander of the Iron Blood unit, comes there and tells them that I apologize, sect leader, elder. Due to an urgent situation, we had to block the road. For the sect leader's safety, it'll be best to head straight to the Mongo sect. Later, after reaching the Mongo sect, Kim asks them, "So, who are these guys?" Then the great elder raises his hand and asks Kim, sect leader, "May I explain about the Black Blood sect?" Then he replies, "Sure, make it quick." After that, he tells him that as for the Black Blood sect, rumors are rampant, but they are famous for being an organization without a real presence. They mainly earn money through contract killing and are known to commit brutal acts without hesitation, regardless of age or gender, as long as they're paid. These are people to whom human decency does not apply. This letter was probably sent to target the sect leader's life. But there's no need to worry, I have a plan for everything. Meanwhile, outside the sect door, a mysterious man comes there, and after looking at him, the soldiers of the Mongo sect tell him, "Stop. If you move, and we'll stab you," and asks him, "Who are you? Reveal your identity." But after listening to them, still he doesn't stop, and doesn't even reply to them. Then the soldier remembers that the great elder told him that if you see anyone suspicious, don't hesitate and immediately eliminate him. After remembering that, the soldier goes to attack him, but suddenly he disappears and kills him from his backside. After that, the soldiers attack him by using arrows, but he dodges them by jumping high. Then the soldiers inform everyone inside the sect that someone attacked the sect. Then, after listening to this, both Dun Guang and Jin run outside at the main gate to stop the intruder. But the intruder goes inside the sect. Then, while looking at him entering the sect, Yukpi asks him, "I thought they would come swarming in. But you came alone. That's disappointing. All right, let's hear the reason. Why have you come all this way?" After that, Kim asks, while pointing the gun at him from back, that, "Do you know? A killer should never get caught from behind. Conversely, do you know what a killer must always do? To the enemy, show no mercy." After that, he shoots him at his back, and while looking at this, everyone gets shocked and asks him, "Are you all right, sect leader?" After that, the great elder laughs and tells Kim that, as expected, everything went according to my plan. "You are truly remarkable, sect leader. If you hadn't killed him, we would have been the ones dead." After that, Jin tells them that's some foresight, brother. There's something fallen here. Then, after listening to her, great elder tells her that don't touch it carelessly. It could be poisoned. Then she replies, "No, it's not, it's a letter." After that, she reads the letter, in which it's written, "Greetings, I am Akchenbeek, the leader of the Black Blood sect. I wanted to greet the new sect leader in person, but the time did not permit. In the hopes of establishing a good relationship with the new sect leader, I have sent the treasure and heirloom of the Black Blood sect by my most trusted subordinate, a necklace. Please clean your neck and wear it with care." After listening to it, everyone gets shocked, but the great elder gets more shocked because the plan to eliminate that guy was made by him. Then Kim looks at the great elder and asks him, "Hey, is this also part of the plan you mentioned?" After listening to him, the great elder gets scared, and with full of fear, he tells him that, "Wait, just a moment, sect leader, please hear me out. It's the same for both sides. That guy also killed our people on his way here, didn't he? We're in the same situation. After that, suddenly their soldiers come there and ask him, Sect leader, elder, are you harmed? Then the great elder asks them, why are you standing there? After that, the soldier tells him that fortunately, he just lost consciousness and is fine. Then he asks him what should he have died. After that, the soldier laughs and replies, what? Was just kidding. Then, after noticing that Kim is standing next to him with his gun pointing on him, the great elder thinks it has gotten worse. Later in the meeting, Du Chialho tells them that if the word of this incident gets out, the Murim Alliance will start to closely monitor our movements. Then many unwanted variables will occur while conquering the Murim world. After listening to him, Jin tells them that instead of conquering, we might end up repeating the past. It would be right to contact the Black Blood sect soon and apologize. After listening to her, Dun Guang gets angry and asks her that no sister, what are you talking about? Apologize? Should our great Mongo sect apologize to some unheard faction? And if you think about it, didn't they make the move that could be misunderstood? After that, she asks him, youngest, can you say the same thing if it were your people who died? Then looking at this, the great elder raises his hand and asks Kim, so then sect leader, may I say a word about this situation? Then Kim replies, sure, go ahead, and points his gun at him and tells him if you want to die. Then that settles it. After saying that, he smiles and tells him that you'll take the responsibility. After that, Kim replies, what do you mean? How? Whether you kneel, cry, or beg, that's up to you to figure out. Meanwhile, later, after reaching the enemy's place with his disciples, one of the disciples asks him, it seems like all the elders have arrived. Then the great elder replies, yes, and thinks, so this is where it is, but this place. Everyone's wearing a mask. It's quite intimidating. After that, one of the soldiers standing there tells him that the room you see in front of you is where the leader is. Then, after reaching inside the room, Chinbeek tells them, it hasn't been long since I have sent the letter. I didn't expect to meet you so soon. Pleased to meet you. I am Black Blood sect leader Ak Chinbeek. We've prepared earnestly for the arrival of our esteemed guests, but I'm not sure if it will be to your liking. You must be hungry after the long journey, so let's have a meal first. After that, while drinking, the great elder says the leader really understands. Because of that damn sect leader. Oh, really? Just thinking about that guy makes me want to curse from the depths of my heart. After that, one of his disciples puts the hand on his shoulder and says, I think the elder has drunk too much. After that, he tells him that you kid, here adults are talking, so you just stand and guard well. After that, Chinbeek asks him, I don't see the subordinate I sent to the Mongo sect. He didn't come with you? Then, after listening to him, he gets nervous and tells him that, well, the thing is, there was a bit of an incident at the Mongo sect. There was an accident, but it wasn't my doing, I mean, that is to say, he died. After listening to him, Chinbeek doesn't reply to him. Then, while looking at him not replying, the great elder thinks, what is the leader thinking behind his mask? Should I lie and run away? After that, Chinbeek laughs and says, why worry about such a trivial matter? Then he asks him, as the elder knows, such things are common in the Murim world, aren't they? After listening to him, the great elder laughs and says, right, it's a common occurrence. And thinks what? His reaction is? After that, Chinbeek stands up and asks him that, but more importantly, did the sect leader like the necklace I sent? Then he smiles and replies, yes, he really liked it and is wearing it all the time. After that, Chinbeek removes his mask and says, that's very fortunate. Now, the death of my subordinate seems to have worked out for the better. I was worried about how to apologize to the elder. After listening to him, the great elder asks him, what do you mean? Then he replies, what I mean is we're now in an equal situation. My precious subordinate is also dead, and your precious sect leader is also dead too, isn't he? The necklace I gave you contains a colorless and odorless poison. Just 1 hour in the same space as that poison will cause chills. After half a day, the limbs will gradually stiffen and become immovable, and after that, After listening to him, the great elder thinks, what does this mean? Then the sect leader is? Then he asks him, how could you do such a despicable thing? After listening to him, Chanbik asks him, is it strange for an assassin to use poison? If you have a problem with it, why don't you die instead? After that, the great elder tells him, now, it seems we have nothing more to say to each other, so I'll take my leave. Then he replies, but I never said I'd let you leave, did I? After that, the great elder asks him, well, do you have anything else to say to me? Then Chanbik replies, not really, but I didn't say I'd let you live, did I? After that, the great elder asks him, wait, just a minute, didn't you already kill the sect leader? And tells him that guy deserved to die. I'm on your side. Then he tells his disciples that, hey, you guys, why are you just standing there watching? You guys came as my escort today. Hurry up and block them. Then he looks at his escort's face and asks him, damn it, what are we going to do if you get scared like this? After that, he remembers when he was telling Kim that he will be killed like a dog if he goes alone. Then he also remembers that Kim told him that no need to worry about such useless things, because you'll have my very reliable escorts with you. As expected, the sect leader has a plan all along. After remembering that the great elder thinks, damn it, to attach such escorts and say that, then Chanbik goes to attack him with his sword, and while attacking him, he says, now just die. Then, while seeing Chanbik attacking him with his sword, he tells him, wait, just wait a minute. After that, the second escort says, this is really amusing. It seems this doesn't change no matter where you go. Where I come from. The back is given by an old lady passing by. After saying that, he removes his mask, and after seeing that he is Kim, Chanbik asks him, how did you get here? After that, Kim says, do you know why people don't eat bakasu? People know. No matter where you go in this world, there's no such thing as a favor without a reason. What will gonna happen next? Will Kim gonna kill Chanbik? To find out, just do like, share, subscribe, and comment down if you want the part 2 as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Sayonara.